Hi, my name is Annie, and welcome to the Walking Word, where we go through the Holy Bible in a year as part of discipling. We're currently reading from the book of Deuteronomy in chapter 22, and we're seeing God's instructions for lost animals. Yeah. Deuteronomy 22. You shall not see your kinsman's ox or sheep driven astray without showing concern about it. See to it that it is returned to your kinsman. If this kinsman does not live near you, or you do not know who it may be, take it to your own place and keep it with you until he claims it. Then give it back to him. You shall do the same with his ass, his garment, and anything else which is your kinsman's. Anything they lose or happen, and you happen to find it. You may not be unconcerned about them. So take care of your neighbor's property, even if you do not know who the owner is. You shall not see your kinsman's ass or ox wandering on the road without showing concern about it. See to it that you help him lift it up, okay? A woman, now these are other various precepts, yeah? A woman shall not wear an article proper to a man, nor shall a man put on a woman's dress. So men and women shouldn't wear each other's clothes, yeah? For anyone who does such a thing is an abomination to the Lord your God. If while walking along you chance upon a bird's nest with young birds or eggs in it, in any tree or on the ground, and the mother bird is sitting on them, you shall not take away the mother bird along with her brood. You shall let her go. Although you may take her brood away, it is thus you shall have prosperity and a long life. This is actually very, this is the warm side of the father's heart. We're starting to see. When you build a new house, put a parapet around the roof. Otherwise, if someone falls off, you will bring blood guilt upon your own house. So protective gear over your house. You shall not sow your vineyard with two different kinds of seed. If you do this, the produce will become forfeit. This is cross pollination, yeah? Both the crop you have sown and the field and the vineyard. You shall not plow with an ox and an ass harnessed together. And this is where, God talks about do not be unequally yoked. An ox and an ass can't plow the same land when they're yoked together. Okay? You shall not wear cloth of two different kinds of thread, wool and linen, woven together. You shall put twisted cords on the four corners of the cloak that you wrap around you. Okay? Now, here are a couple of crimes against marriage. If a man, after marrying a woman and having relations with her, comes to dislike her and makes her monstrous charges, and makes monstrous charges against her and defames her by saying, I married this woman, but when I first had relations with her, I did not find her a virgin. The father and the mother of the girl shall take the evidence of her virginity and bring it to the elders at the city gate. There the father of the girl shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter to this man in marriage, but he has come to dislike her, and now brings monstrous charges against her, saying, I did not find your daughter a virgin, but here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the city. Then these city elders shall take the man and chastise him, besides fining him 100 silver shekels, which they shall give to the girl's father. Verse 19, besides fining him 100 silver shekels, which they shall give to the girl's father, because the man defamed a virgin in Israel. Moreover, she shall remain his wife. So even after pulling all that stunt before the elders, she'll still remain your wife, and he may not divorce her as long as he lives. Okay. But if this charge is true, okay, if they find this charge is true, and evidence of the girl's virginity is not found, they shall bring the girl to the entrance of her father's house, and there her townsmen, where she came from, her father's, where she came from, shall stone her to death, because she committed a crime against Israel by her unchastity in her father's house. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst. If a man is discovered having relations with a woman who is married to another, both the man and the woman with whom he has had relations shall die. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst. And this ties back to the story. We'll see this in the New Testament when an adulterous woman is brought before Jesus and Jesus is asked, what? Yes, this ties in into the story where an adulterous woman is brought before Jesus, and Jesus is asked by the elders from young to old what they should do with her because, of course, the culture says that she should be stoned to death. But at that time, they only brought the lady, they didn't bring the man. Yet it was God's law is both the man and the woman should be put to death, those both committing adultery. But in this case, it was only one. And so, that's how Jesus then speaks of not condemning her and asks her to not sin anymore. Let's continue, verse 23. If within the city a man comes upon a maiden who is betrothed and has relations with her, you shall bring them both out of the gate of the city and there stone them to death. The girl, because she did not cry out for help, though she was in the city, and the man, because he violated his neighbor's wife. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst. So this is when someone has already been engaged, and betrothed is slightly higher than engagement. This is where even families have already agreed, families have already discussed. There was actually betrothal also, if I can remember well from the Jewish culture, there's a part of it that was done in the temple. So it's a sacred thing. Marriage was carried with the sanctity that it deserved. Let's continue, verse 25. If, however, it is in the open fields that a man comes upon such a betrothed maiden, seizes her, and has relations with her, the man alone shall die. So if you take advantage of a woman forcefully without consent, you shall be killed. So that was the reward for basically sexual abuse. You shall do nothing to the maiden, since she is not guilty of a capital offense. This case is like that of a man who raises up against his neighbor and murders him. So God considers rape equals to murder. Okay? It was in the open fields that he came upon her, and though the betrothed maiden may have cried out for help, there was no one to come to her aid. If a man comes upon a maiden that is betrothed, takes her and has relations with her, and their deed is discovered, the man who had relations with her shall pay the girl's father 50 shekels and take her as his wife, because he has deflowered her. Moreover, he may not divorce her as long as he lives. Yep. I mean, if we were to have that conversation in modern day, in the year 2026 today, many people would be dead. But it's the mercy of God, that is marked timing. It's still giving you a chance. I pray that you heed his mercy before his justice shows up. Have a good day.